this? Okay. Well, how are we gonna see the YouTube thing? Okay. Then we also have to click transition as well. But you just want to see that pop up.
So far, it's a black screen.
Yeah. Because there's a latency, like a 30-second latency.
Oh yeah.
I turned on. I'm gonna go grab my computer so we don't have to keep looking at that.
That's fair.
You want to move that gray thingy?
What gray thing? Oh. You mean the footrest?
Sure, we can call it that. That's not what I'm gonna use it for, though.
I think they can still hear us.
Yes, that is true. They can. But it's called Prep Stream Talk.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now you can switch it back to the OBS because I'm gonna.
There we go.
Let's hope this cord is really.
Okay.
We have like just 3 monitors. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is actually a highly sophisticated setup.
I can't show my.
Wait.
What?
What about our transition?
Huh?
I mean, like our intro.
We haven't started it yet.
I know.
We're starting, but we'll flip it. It's not. This is what the stream sees.
I know, but how are we?
You click transition. It's gonna transition. You're gonna watch it happen. Because when it comes active, the thingy goes.
So when I click transition, the intro comes up.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
automatic.
this.
No, don't do that.
That would have been sick though.
Yeah, no, not yet. I can't spell. YouTube. Okay, live.
From downtown.
Okay.
Oh, also, comments. Have we gotten any comments from any?
Not yet, really. Okay, there we go. Now I can see comments. That's great. Warning already. All right. Now we're all set up.
The stream's current bit rate is lower.
Yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. All right.
Is lower better or higher
No.
better?
Higher better.
Oh, higher. Can you have too much bit rate?
No.
Oh.
Well, don't ask me questions like that. I don't know that. Okay, you can click transition whenever you want to click transition.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the basement, where we like to talk about things theologically, practically, and hilariously. I'm Tristan, and this is my wonderful co-host.
I'm Ezra.
And today we're doing episode 7 of The Basement.
7.
I know.
I can't count. Wait. 7.
There you go. Perfect. And man, it's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
Oh gosh, this is probably the closest, like the shortest amount of time between 2 episodes that we've done this.
No, we did it. We did with Marcus and Braden. But those ones were like back to back, weren't they?
Possibly.
I thought they were back to back.
I don't remember.
There's too many cords between my arm and my Bible. I'm gonna unplug something. I gotta get up.
Alright, well, we're having technical issues.
No. Not technical issues. There's nothing technically wrong. I just was ill prepared, like always. Gosh.
Oh man.
Gosh, Tina.
I'm not Tina. Goodness.
What's her name? Isn't her name Tina? From what's her name? What's her name from Napoleon Dynamite? What's her name?
I actually haven't watched that movie.
The longest?
Yeah.
Tina.
It is Tina.
I've never watched that movie.
Come on, Tina. Eat your food, you fat lord.
Okay.
This is my drawing book.
Oh, nice.
Actually, my journal. I like it. It's fun.
Your
It actually
journal?
has English on it. Just doesn't look like it.
Oh, yeah.
Can you read all the words?
Yeah, I can. That's actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. Mostly because, isn't it like you're outlining the
Inside.
inside? Yeah.
And then this is called every church service in stick figures.
What?
I like that. That's hilarious.
What,
Yes.
Ezra?
So when it's important, the arms move. You have to get this in your skull. It's from my head to your head. You gotta. And then when it's calm, you put your hands on your hips, and you're like, we're just casually talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's intensifying, your hands come up, and you're like, and this, Jesus. You know.
That's fair.
Now, when it comes to music, you have relational. It's just mellow and it's soft.
You feel the spirit.
Yeah, you feel the spirit moving, and then it gets important. The music gets louder. He starts talking louder, and the mics go up. The music goes up, and you're like, because Jesus loves you. It's just
Very, very interesting.
Yes.
very
Yes, you have all gotten a basic structure of a
Church.
sermon.
Yep.
Church sermon.
All the church you'll ever
By
need.
Ezra.
No.
Okay. That's a joke. Don't take that. It's not funny. All right, Ruth.
Alright.
Ruth's in the New Testament, right? Old Testament.
Old Testament.
That's just I said
Joshua
second.
judges Ruth.
Joshua judges Ruth. Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Joshua,
We
right?
should just call on you in order to get us something.
Yeah, you should.
What?
You're like our in-house like problem solver. Like you get stuff done for us.
Wait. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Wait.
Look at the table of contents.
Why are you saying New Testament book names?
Judges.
Genesis,
Matthew,
Mark,
Leviticus,
John.
Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua judges Ruth.
Oh, it's after Deuteronomy. Got it.
Deuteronomy.
Joshua judges
Mhm.
Samuel.
Go in between that.
That is no. There's like no pages. Oh, Ruth 4. Oh, it's like 4 pages.
Yeah,
No
it's
wonder I skipped it.
it's a short book.
Okay, we're on Ruth 2, right?
Yeah,
That is short.
Yeah, it is a short book. As you can tell, we didn't
Oh,
prepare for this.
Did you
There's
prepare?
shorter books in the Bible.
Are you about as prepared as I am?
There's
Maybe
shorter
a little
books
bit
in the
more,
Bible.
but not as much.
Hey, we got 2 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, let's go.
Ezra, there is shorter books in the Bible.
Yeah,
First
Philemon.
John, Second John, and Third John.
Isn't it Philemon or something?
Philemon.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not the shortest one.
How about Philippians?
No, second.
Alright.
Third John's
Well,
smallest.
so then you guys can
Philemon or
follow us as we are going through. Hold on.
Tristan, can you
That's
not
technical issues.
Tristan, I'm pretty sure you're just struggling. It's not a technical issue. It's a personal issue.
You went the wrong way. Okay, now go that way more.
Welcome
You
to
okay?
No.
the basement.
Hold on, we're having technical issues and I have no idea. There we go. That was weird. Alright. So then you guys can follow us. We have made it possible.
Alright, let's see if we can actually read it, though.
We have made it possible for you guys to read along with us. And there you go. Hopefully you guys can all see this. There we go. Got it.
Brother,
Yeah.
the quality. It didn't get better.
No.
Ezra, what's this for?
Oof. Bro's gonna read hieroglyphics. Oh, no, you can read it, kinda.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully-
you can kinda read it.
Hopefully you guys are able to read as we go along. Okay.
Can you read it?
Yes, I can read it.
Ezra.
So what I like to do is I like the New Living,
You like the summary?
the New Living Translation.
Summary?
It's not a summary. It's
kind
a
of a summary.
Oh my gosh, being ridiculous.
Why don't we listen to 95?
Listen to 95.
And read the 95 one.
Oh, NAS B95?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's look
Hey,
for
just
the-
click the search.
Hold on. Found it.
No. Okay.
Don't struggle.
Alright, this is the NASB 95 translation. This one is a very great version for if you're wanting to do studying,
Which we're doing.
which we are doing, in the Bible. So, I'm going to read and y'all can follow along. So, Ruth 2 says, Now Naomi had a kinsman of her husband. Okay, I think we need to recap. Now that I think about it,
What?
we need to recap.
What is recap? Oh, from the last. Yeah. Do we need to watch it? We can pull it up.
We ain't doing that. So, first chapter of Ruth, we follow Naomi and her husband going into the land of Moab, and they have 2 sons. Those 2 sons marry 2 Moabite women,
Mhm.
and then the husband, all of the husbands die in that land,
Depressing.
and all the women have to figure out how to provide for themselves. So Naomi goes back to Israel, her
Womp
homeland, and she tells the 2 Moabite women, I forgot the other one's name, but one of them's Ruth, and the other one is not as important because she left. But
Was it not Naomi?
no, I'm talking about the Moabite women, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Naomi was the one talking to them, Ezra.
Okay. Do you know the story, Joel?
No, but I was actually listening to Tristan.
Oh. Okay.
Unlike someone.
Okay.
Anyways.
Sorry.
Well, Naomi tells Ruth and the other Moabite woman to go back to their land and find another husband that can provide for them and care for them. And then the other one goes, Ruth stays and is like, I'm going to follow you till the day I die. Where you live, I will live. Where you go, I will go. Your God will be my God. Your people will be my people.
Okay.
She sticks with them.
Okay.
Then Naomi gets back into her village, and the people are so excited to see Naomi back after so long, and they're like, "Isn't this Naomi?" And Naomi's like, "No, don't call me Naomi. Call me a different name, which means mourning." And because of all the stuff that's happened to her, and she believes that all of it is God's judgment upon her. So, after that, we reach this point in the story. Ruth chapter 2. Now Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a man of great wealth, if I can read.
Great wealth.
Great wealth.
Great wealth.
Of the family of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz, and Ruth the Moabitess. Wow, that's an interesting word.
Moabites.
Moabitess.
Okay. Moabites.
No, Moabitess.
Moabite.
Like princess, empress. This is the
Moabite. S.
Moabitess.
Moabites.
Having a-
Moabites.
Okay. Said to Naomi, "Please let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain, after one in whose sight I may find favor." And she said to her, "Go, my daughter." So she, speaking of Ruth, departed and went and gleaned in the field after the reapers, the ones that were cutting the wheat, putting it in piles, and then wrapping it up in bundles. And she happened to come to the portion of the field belonging to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. Now behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said to the reapers, "May the Lord be with you." And they said to him, "May the Lord bless you." Then Boaz said to his servant who was in charge of the reapers,
Try to keep it in the middle of the screen because they're not going to be able to see it.
"Okay, whose young woman is this?" The servant in charge of the reapers replied, "She is the young Moabite woman who returned with Naomi from the land of Moab." And she said, "Please let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves." Thus she came and has remained from the morning until now. She has been sitting in the house for a little while. Okay. I think this is a great spot to give context. What?
Put that there in the middle. Because they need to be able to see. Because this is what they can see. And if it's in the middle, it's more of a focus point.
That's fair. Okay. So, up to this point, basically, let me say this in more plain English. because NASB 95.
It's English enough.
It's English, but it's somewhat difficult to understand a little bit. So, what's happening here is that Ruth and Naomi are widows, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do to get food for themselves and provide. One of the things in Israel that they're able to do is that widows are actually given the right to come up behind the reapers, the ones that cut off the grain and put it in bundles. They're actually allowed to come in and pick the grain that was left behind, because there's like stalks that are left behind every now and again, and they're able to pick it and take it for themselves. So then they're able to make flour and make flatbread and all that sort of stuff. So Ruth takes the initiative in Israel and is like, okay, I'm going to find a way to provide for us. This is how we're going to do it. And she finds herself in a field owned by a guy by the name of Boaz. Boaz is going to be very important later in the story. And the servants obviously view this man very highly. Because Boaz says, may the Lord... What do they say, actually? Now that I think about it. He says to his reapers, may the Lord be with you. And they say to him, may the Lord bless you. Like, both groups are very respectful and honoring of each other. And they both have great reputations. So, Ruth is in the field of a man that is highly regarded, highly respected, and takes care of his men and that sort of stuff. And he's interested in Ruth because someone new showed up, someone he's never seen before. He wants to know who's there. And he's also very kind because she's a Moabite woman. And so her being in Israel is...
Israelite?
What?
Israelite? Or what?
Huh?
You said is she in Israel?
She is in Israel.
Okay.
She's from the land of Moab.
Okay.
So yeah, she's outside of... She's an outsider. She's a
Okay.
foreigner.
Yeah.
Basically. So he's being very kind to her because Israelites have had a reputation of, in that day and age, of not being, like, being very kind of territorial, more or less. They want their land and they want it kept to themselves, and they don't want any other people group to come in, like the Amalekites, Amorites, all those sorts of people. So yeah, he's showing great kindness, which I think it's like a great example for us, like people that we don't know, for example, like for us, like in a church, we should give those we don't know
An opportunity.
an opportunity.
That's fair, yeah. And inviting people in that we would consider foreigners.
Right. Those who haven't been in a church before, those who are new to the area, that sort of thing. We should give them, like, we should show them kindness first. Benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
I mean, we've all been in that place where, like, us as sinners have
Guilt.
have sinned.
Yeah.
We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Isn't that like Romans 3:23?
I think so.
Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
I think that's right.
We can look it up.
We could if we wanted to. Let's find it. Hold on. Romans 3.
Then you can just highlight it.
3.
19, 21, 22. There you go.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can click the highlight button. Or that works too.
For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, being justified by as a gift by His grace.
Grace through the redemption of which in Christ Jesus.
Right. So we have no right whatsoever to be unkind to other people and be judgmental.
It's not our job to judge them.
No, it is not our job to judge them at all. Because, like, we should be inviting. all the time.
Mhm.
But it's just sometimes like we get in our own heads and can view ourselves too high and too mighty, and which isn't good.
Yeah.
A lot of church hurt can come from that.
Yes, that I've heard with me being on TikTok a lot and stuff, and I hear a lot of stories of people feeling like they get shunned from churches and stuff because they're judgmental, and I can clearly say that I have been one of the judging peoples before, and I've been in that position, and so I understand where some people who are in the church, they want to feel safe, and they want to feel like the people around them are only the people that believe in the Lord and this, that, and the other. But the church is supposed to be more like a hospital, like this one song I listened to. I forgot who wrote it, but the hurt, the broken, all those people need to be there, and we need to not put up our guard and say, oh, we don't want these people here because we need to respect them and let them know that they are loved and they need to feel safe rather than us feeling safe.
Right. That's very true.
Our job as Christians is to be disciples
Right.
who make disciples.
Yeah, that's very true. And I love that about Boaz. He's just automatically like asking questions, wanting to know about the person, and just like he doesn't seem to have like any bias set as he's asking these questions. He's just like wanting to know who's this person and figure it out, which I believe is a great example for us. So we're back in Ruth here, and we're going to be on verse 8. Alright. So, verse 8. We're going to continue the story. It says, Then Boaz said to Ruth, Listen carefully, my daughter. Do not go to glean in another field. Furthermore, do not go on from this one, but stay here with my maids. Let your eyes be on the field which they reap, and go after them. Indeed, I have commanded the servants not to touch you. When you are thirsty, go to the water jars and drink from what the servants draw. And she fell on her face, bowing to the ground, and said to him, Why have I found favor in your sight, that you should take notice of me, since I am a foreigner? Boaz replied to her, All that you have done for your mother-in-law after the death of your husband has been fully reported to me. And how you left your father and mother in the land of your birth, and came to a people that you did not previously know. May the Lord reward your work, and your wages be full from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to seek refuge. Then she said, I found favor in your sight, my lord, for you have comforted me, and indeed have spoken kindly to your maidservant, though I am not like one of your maidservants. Like, again, another great example from Boaz. Like, Boaz taking the extra step and coming out and saying, like, hey, don't go anywhere else. We got you here. We can take care of you. Like, being a brother, basically, and just being like, hey, you need help. Let me help you out. I can take care of you however you need to be taken care of. And, like, that's, like, so cool to see. Like, a man of Israel standing out and saying, hey, let me help you out. Let me take care of you. That's really cool. And, like, he's being a great protective person. And he says he has other maids and stuff. And apparently those maids are treated well, because he wouldn't be offering, like, the same services to Ruth that he gives to his maids if they were worse than what Ruth had to put up with. So he treats his maids well, and treating Ruth like one of the people that works for him is for her benefit, and her benefit only. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, honestly, like sacrificing time. He's mostly doing this out of gratefulness. He's like, I know what you've done for my mother-in-law. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that, and like I want to help you out and help her out as much as I can. Stuff. He's trying to do it out of gratitude, but he's also doing it out of friendliness,
Mhm.
too. Like, if he was only doing it out of, like, only out of friendliness,
Mhm.
he probably wouldn't go, he may not even go as far as he did.
Mhm.
And if he was only doing it out of gratefulness, like,
Gratefulness can only go so far.
yeah, gratefulness only goes so far.
Mhm.
Basically, it'd be transactional,
Mhm.
rather than, like, truly generous.
Mhm. Generosity,
Mm-hmm.
selflessness.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wish I could say I could be as generous as that more often.
Mhm.
Just because there's a lot of people that I've seen that are just like not as well off and
Mhm.
need shelter, need food, need clothing, all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
And sometimes I just turn a blind eye and it kind of makes me feel bad.
Mhm.
But it's like I need to work on that.
Mhm.
I think honestly, I think
We all.
yeah, we all need to work on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure in your life you've had that happen too.
I lost it. There was Joel came in and I just blanked. I heard turn a blind eye and I was like, yes. What were we talking about? Sorry.
We were talking about like being generous to people who are less.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of situations where I'm like that, I guess, but don't want to sound like I'm egotistical, but
Right.
well, you kind of have to if you see other people who have lesser, like I've worked as a paraeducator and I've seen lots of kids who've come from different homes, and you have to be willing to give up some of your typical way you would talk to somebody to try to understand how they are, like how their brain is working kind of and where they come from, and you have to have a lot more compassion towards them to work with them, and you have to have a lot more patience to be willing to work with them. And I would say that's somewhat generous of like you have to have time and effort to have patience. So say that's somewhat generous, I guess, if you're giving up your time to focus to help this person where they really need help, and especially 4th and 5th graders where they're already struggling with like they're struggling with this, that, and the other. Their body's changing, their brains are changing. They're getting so much information, and then on top of that, if their home life sucks,
Right.
they have bazillion other things that they could be focusing on, but they're having to be stuck at an institution where teaching isn't actually as helpful as it used to be. So, and we're all trying to say men and women both have to learn the same exact way, which we don't. If you are a young boy, you need to have exercise. That is how our bodies are designed. That's how God designed us. We need to exert energy. We need to be tired. We'll focus better that way. Somebody get us a yoga ball. Get us to sit on that thing. Make us bounce up and down while we're working on our stuff. We will focus way better. My good friend Josiah, we've had on this podcast. His mom is a teacher. She had yoga balls in her class. Holy cow, she could get those kids to focus. They sit on those things, they bounce up and down, all their energy's gone, and all they can do is focus because they have something other to do. So, my point, my point to say is focus your time and energy into patience, and it does turn out to be generosity because you are giving up your time that you could be doing selfish things when you're being selfless.
Right. I agree. That's very true. Yeah, and you don't have to like go out into the wilderness of the big city or like out in the fields or something. You know, you can just find them while you're grocery shopping.
Mhm.
Find the people that need help while you're grocery shopping.
Yep.
Even the barista at a coffee shop, they all need help. Somehow, some way, all of them would love like a hello or a hug or a tip even. You know, all of them would appreciate just like some form of being noticed or being cared for, any shape, way, or form.
I can't find it. I was trying to click the thing so we could hide the words again.
But yeah. So then something else too.
May the Lord reward you.
Yeah, that. Like, not only is he generous with his time, but he declares a blessing upon Ruth. Like, this is so much that he's doing for this one woman. And of course, she has. That's kind of why she like fell on her face, bound to the ground, because she's done pretty much nothing.
What she thinks. Right? She said you looked at. You said she looked after. Like that's what it says.
Yeah.
It says she looked after.
She thinks she did pretty much nothing,
Yeah.
and she's receiving so much from Boaz, and she falls on her face and bows to the ground in honor, saying, asking why have I found favor in your sight, since I am a foreigner. Like, she even recognizes that being a foreigner means that you'll generally not be treated as well as someone who's lived in the land before. And Boaz is like, I don't care if you're a foreigner. You, like, took care of my mother-in-law and you left them in order to come here and live a life that was harder for you than if you lived in your homeland. And giving a blessing to somebody back in those days was huge deal.
Big thing.
Huge deal. So many patriarchs, like the founding fathers of Israel, like they blessed their sons, and it like determined what happened to them afterwards, which is crazy. So for Boaz to give a blessing to Ruth is like that's a higher honor than just being told, "Hey, you can stick around here."
Like that kind of falls in line with like there's like the generational blessing, there's generational curses kind of thing. Like you curse your son or you curse your daughter, and la-di-da-di-da, their life sucks. In that time, I guess, because there's lots of things like that. And then, or you bless them in some way, and may they be fruitful and multiply throughout their thing. And then, holy cow, they have like their own, like, their own village by the end of 100 years.
Right? And it's like, yeah, that's a pretty big honor. And Ruth, in kind, responds very well. Says, I have found favor in your sight, my Lord, for you have comforted me, and indeed have spoken kindly to your maidservant, though I am not like one of your maidservants. And she puts herself in a place of, like, submission. Like, thank you for taking care of me, and, like, being very humble. She's being very humble about it.
Humbling herself,
She's being very humble and accepting all this generosity. One of my pet peeves is when I'm trying to be generous to people and they're like, no, I don't deserve it. I don't need it. Thank you. And then I'm like, that's okay. First off, my generosity to you
It's not needing a transaction.
right, it's not a transactional thing. And on top of that, you not deserving it is kind of the point.
Yeah. Genuine generosity.
Right? And so, like, I think there's multiple reasons why people will refuse generosity. Some of them do think, like, they don't need it because it's like they're well off.
Yeah.
And they have a house, they have a steady income, and they had a good day and stuff, and there's a homeless guy around the corner.
Yeah.
You know? And they're like,
why'd you do me when there's other people you could have chose? Yeah.
right. I think there are some people who are genuine about that. I think there's others that are like,
I can't repay you.
right, I can't repay you, or they don't want to receive generosity because they think they deserve
Nothing.
They deserve nothing. They don't deserve. They deserve to sit and wallow in whatever situation they're in.
Yeah.
But yeah. But like accepting generosity is also a big thing to, even for me to work on. Because I'm like, bro, I can't take care of myself. Why? Like, why did you do that for me? But like, generosity is not just a gift to you, it's also a gift to them.
Yes.
It's a gift to the other person. and I think that needs to be recognized more. Because it lifts both people up. I mean, I feel so much joy after being generous to somebody else. I sacrificed money, time, effort. I leave with something that feels a lot greater.
I like, it's interesting, like, you say the word sacrifice, I'm like, I don't like to think of, sacrificing, like, yes, sacrificing is a good thing, I guess, like, in some cases and stuff.
Right.
Sometimes people have a negative connotation towards that. You were, like, I would say, if someone doesn't say sacrificing is a good thing, I'd say you're giving up with good intentions, or you're giving up for a good reason, like giving up your time, giving up your energy. You're giving things so that someone else can benefit from it.
Right. Giving up something that costs you in order so that someone else can benefit.
Yes.
Like, it has to cost you something.
Yes, very true.
So yeah. So far, I think we've gleaned a lot out of this chapter.
See.
And let's continue.
Where are we at? Okay.
We are at
You want me
verse
to read?
14.
You'll have to scroll for me because
I don't care.
Okay.
No, I can scroll.
At mealtime, Boaz said to her, "Come to her. Come here, that you may eat of the bread and dip your piece of bread in the vinegar." So she sat beside the reapers, and she served her roasted grain, and she ate and was satisfied, and had some left. When she rose to glean, Boaz commanded his servants, saying, "Let her glean even among the sheaves, and do not insult her, as you shall purposely pull out for her some grain from the bundles, and leave it that she may glean, and do not rebuke her." You can scroll down. So she gleaned in the field until evening. Then she beat out what she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah. What's that? That ephah?
It's a
Measurement?
it's a system of measurement
Okay.
in
Ephah of barley. She took it up and went to the city, and her mother-in-law saw that she had gleaned. She also took it out and gave Naomi what she had left after she was satisfied. Her mother-in-law then said to her, "Where did you glean today, and where did you work? May he who took notice of your blessed." So she told her mother-in-law with whom she had worked, and said, "The name of the man with whom I work today is Boaz." Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, "May he be blessed. He be blessed of the Lord, who has not withdrawn his kindness to the living and to the dead." Again, Naomi said to her, "The man is our relative. He is one of our closest relatives." Then Ruth, the Moabitess, I don't know how to say that word, said, "Furthermore, he said to me, you should stay close to my servants until they have finished all my harvest." Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, "It is good, my daughter, that you go out with his maids, so that others do not fall upon you in another field." So she stayed close by the maids of Boaz in order to glean until the end of the barley harvest and the wheat harvest, and she lived with her mother-in-law.
Boaz keeps one-upping himself.
Bro got one up. Bro one-upped himself twice.
Oh my gosh. He personally gives him hold on. Gives her his personal lunch.
And his maids.
And after that, he lets her keep the leftovers. And also tells his servants personally, "Hey, you're gonna drop
with the lady."
I want you to purposefully be clumsy. Drop more than usual."
Rip.
And he's generous, he's kind, he's also
Giving.
yes,
Basically the same sinners. Whatever.
but he's also protective. Cause he said, he tells his servants not to insult her at all, not to rebuke her, and Naomi recognizes that Boaz is a good man,
Mm.
and is like, he's one of our closest relatives. If you went to another field, there's a possibility that someone else could take advantage of you,
Mhm.
or hurt you, or something. And like the protective nature of Boaz is like, oh my gosh, this guy is so cool. This is a really cool guy. If you want to do like a character study on Boaz, which we kind of are doing, but not 100%.
Yeah.
Like, do a character study of Boaz, because this man is a manly man, and he knows how to take care of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just so cool.
Yeah.
This guy's cool. Love to meet him in heaven. You know.
That was cool. Yeah.
But yeah, he's like wanting to protect. Like that's kind of like part of a man's nature is he wants to protect.
Protective nature.
Right? He wants to protect those he cares about,
Mhm.
and he wants to just work hard to provide.
Yes.
And do stuff.
That's what we need more Boazes in this like,
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah, we do need more Boazes in this culture, and if
Less lazy people. Lazy people, less of them.
That's funny. But as you see later in the story, if you read ahead, you'll spoil the story. But you come to understand like this guy's like a solid guy, and like he's great husband material.
Very great husband material.
And like so many things, and this entire chapter is showing all about like his character. Like, his character is the one that matters in this chapter, and it's just so cool to see, because you know at the end of the day, like men need to step up nowadays.
Yeah.
You kind of need to like be at the forefront and like get out there and work hard to make a living and provide for yourself, and eventually be able to provide for your family, your wife, your kids. Like be protective, be kind to those in your life all around. I mean, it's a very important thing to just be a man, not just a boy in a culture or a young lad or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like we're kind of punching men down a little bit and putting the wrong expectations on them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that we're putting too many expectations, just the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Because, like, certain men should be expected to do things, but you can't expect men to do all things.
Yeah.
So, like, we need to focus on, like, need a better focus on, like, who men are.
Yeah.
What is our job.
Mhm.
And how we can better protect, prepare, be provisional, that sort of thing.
Define provision.
He doesn't remember that. That's an 8th grade thing.
What's provision?
Provision?
Yeah.
Providing.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
provision is just like the action of
To think forward in your in providing for your for people.
The action of providing or supplying something for use.
provision, like food, shelter,
Okay.
finances.
Fair.
We need to work better on that.
Lots of people do.
Yeah, for sure. And like, men should be staying accountable to men.
Yes.
Women should not be the ones keeping men accountable.
Yes, that's fair.
Like
we need our own kind.
we need our own kind because honestly, you know, if a man gets beaten in a fight with another man, they can get over it.
Yes.
And
fast.
it's like they learn from
Yes.
the experience.
A woman. If you fight, have you ever seen two women fight? That doesn't end ever,
it
and
doesn't.
they kind of just have grief for the rest of their lives. But if a man and a woman got in a fight, we don't want to see that.
No, we do not want to see that.
We don't want to see that because that can ruin things.
Because it's going to have more hurt emotions than just,
Yeah.
you know,
It's,
a humbled ego.
the man will have a humbled ego, but the woman
No.
won't be let go.
Right? Like, men need to let go of their ego
Mhm.
and figure out how to work against their pride to
Yep.
do what is right.
And men need to be humbled sometimes. And correction from another man is okay. And
Okay.
sometimes we need.
And sometimes necessary.
Yes, it's sometimes more than just okay. It's a necessary thing sometimes.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, yeah. So, like, I would encourage y'all to find, like, strong men in your life
Yes.
who have great biblical standards.
Yes. If you're a man, find a man to go get yourself knocked on the head. If you're a woman and you have a man, tell that man to go find a man. There's nothing wrong about having a bromance. I'm not wrong.
Oh, that's so funny though. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you guys like find some men that you can live life with that that can sharpen you. Like
Mhm.
iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens friend. And men do that together and through tough situations like working, sports, outdoors stuff. Go and do stuff with other men
Yes.
who are people you idolize and
Well, not really idolize.
not
more.
really
Yeah.
idolize, but you would want to,
You look up to.
that you look up to and are like, I want to be a great husband
One day,
like
yeah.
you. I want to be a great dad like you.
Yep.
I want to be a great worker like
Yep.
you. That sort of thing. Those types of people, men find those men
Mhm.
and learn from them.
Yes.
It's a very good thing to do.
Let's go. We got 13 viewers this time.
Let's go! Yeah! This is amazing. Oh!
It's getting better every time.
I
We're,
know.
we're having better equipment. I actually decided to use my phone this time. We're still working on the colors. But,
Right?
but
But I also feel like we're doing good on discussions too.
yes. Joel, you have anything to say?
You don't need good colors and graphics and all that. You just need true words.
Okay.
Well
Fair.
said.
That-
Well said.
You might have caught us, but like people like quality.
Okay, and quality isn't just in camera equipment and like how well it works or how good it looks. Quality is in all of it. Quality can be the words too. If you have good quality in your speech, that can overpower the good quality of the site.
I like
Thank
this
you,
guy.
Peanut Gallery.
I like this guy. He said it right. I like it.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery. We'll be receiving more of him next year.
Next year.
Next year.
You're gonna kick me out till next year?
Next podcast, we'll hear more from the Peanut Gallery.
Yes. We need to give you a top hat and an eyeglass and
And a cane.
A pipe.
the cane. Yes. Alright. Well, I think this has been a great podcast. We did another chapter.
48 minutes.
And yeah, another chapter in Ruth. Chapter
Two
2.
more.
Next week is going to be chapter 3.
Yeah.
So-
Hashtag Ruth is good.
Yeah, the Book of Ruth. It's a good read. It's not like there's too many things that are like, oh, that happened.
Yes.
It's like, this is cool.
Yes.
This is a nice story.
Indeed, indeed.
Probably one of the more lovely stories in the book.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, you want to pray us out?
Am I praying us out? We are. All right. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you that you love us and you care for us. I just pray that we are able to be generous men and women, that we are able to seek out your meaning of generosity, not our own, and not look for transactional times to be generous. Look for times to be selfless and just be like Boaz, willing to give more than what they think is necessary, and be able to pray over people and help them feel like they're welcome even when they feel like they're an outsider. And thank you for loving us and caring for us, and we just pray a blessing on this next week. In Jesus' name, we all said, Amen.
Alright. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Next Saturday.
Next
Peanut
Saturday.
gallery, signing off.
What?
Peanut gallery, signing off.
Gallery signing. You gotta stop the stream. You'll probably have to stand up to see it.
1 second. My head is gone. I'm sorry.
You're still in the right screen.